Hey guys, what's up? It is Sarfnik here, welcome of Hearth History. This is episode 8. Should be a short one, but we actually have I think the largest time frame to discuss, surprisingly. So, this video, as you may have seen, covers Hearth Arc Training, which happened in June 2019 all the way to August 2019. But, wait a minute, wasn't the last video February and March 2018? That's like 15... Yes, I know, it was 15 months, and we'll discuss that in the beginning and then get into the main stuff. But before we do that, before we do the thing before... Well, I want to discuss the fact that this series has been getting a lot of support. Thanks for all those who come by and show their support on the premieres and watch them and like the videos and talk about them in Hearth general chat. It's amazing. This series is really difficult to make, not only because of the fact that I have to go back and look through old clips, but also because my renderer does not like when I record or try to render clips like these for some reason. It constantly breaks in rendering this series, which usually only happens like once a year, but it's happened with almost every video. And not to mention the fact that I'm running a 6.5 hour long job as well on the weekdays. But that's about to end because of Hearth SMP. So, yeah, enjoy the video. So after Hearth S3, we didn't really know what to do next. We actually ended up making Hearth into an official company named Frostbite Entertainment. It wasn't too official, but it was technically an official name, and we all were staff. We worked on this map called Iced Over, canceled it, and I started working on this new RP series called Forvagreen, and we built this huge map for it, and then canceled it. For the rest of 2018, we got into SCP Secret Laboratory, and just continued working on some Frostbite games. That was kind of it. There was Everneth as well. Everneth Season 5, we joined Everneth, Warcries, Kaib, and I, along with Krat, and we met a few folks on there, like Gamerai, HG Wix, Uramonti, who would later become a good part of Hearth. So enter 2019. Frostbite actually combines with the studio that begins working on this game called SCP Fragmented Minds, which is still going, and eventually Warcries and all of us leave Frostbite, meaning Hearth technically got disbanded. Hearth was basically a dead thing. I remember we were actually thinking of starting SMP, and we just said don't name it Hearth anymore, just name it Frostbite Season 1. So, ever since August of 2017, there was this Discord group that we had called The Worst Discord. Warcries and I, along with Krat, and many others. Aramis joined later, obviously. And we decided to make it into a full group Discord. Now, it had really weird rules, like people could vote it out and ban, and the rules were just kind of based on what everyone wanted. There were only 20 members, and we kind of capped it there purposely. It isn't too relevant for this episode, but it'll be pretty relevant for the next episode. Just to let you know, this is actually where we hosted the Hearth Arc Training, and we called it Hearth Arc Training just because Hearth was our group at the time. We still refer to ourselves as Hearth, because it was our OG name. So, Aramis decided to get us all into Arc. Just whoever on Hearth wanted to. Now look, Arc costs quite a bit of money to buy, so we only had limited slots. So I was in one, War was in one, Krat was in one, and then Lou was in one as well. I think Aramis bought the game for all of them. And Boofsly later on. Yes, Boofsly from GL. Weird, right? So we began, and this is what kind of defined summer of 2019 for me. Just returning from work at the library, which was a way easier job. It was only like 4 hours anyway. And just playing Arc with Warcries and Aramis. And building our base on Herbivore Island, so we actually settled at Herbivore Island. It was mostly just us three who were active, but there was Krat who also played on our team as well. Dragoon lived there, but he just never logged in. Thank God. Scum, as Aramis will probably be saying in the premiere chat right now. Then there's another team, Balagar and the Crim, I believe, who are Aramis's parents. Yes, Balagar, also known as Dwayne Rock Johnson, but back then he was just known as Balagar. They lived by the West Coast waterfall. And then there was a third tribe who lived in Hidden Valley. That was my friend Fadefa and Waylon, who Warcries knew. But we actually didn't know Fadefa that much back then. He was more of a side teammate. This is actually when we first got introduced to Fadefa, believe it or not. And Waylon, who, well, we knew because Warcries met him through SCP Secret Laboratory, and he actually was a corrupt administrator, believe it or not. I only recruited him just because of the fact that he had some skills in Arc, and he tried to show that. So, Waylon, if this SMP ever becomes part of the lore, this Hearth Arc Training SMP, obviously he would be the bad guy. You see, Aramis didn't like him that much. Aramis owned the server and he can make decisions, but Waylon was trying to push me to betray my own teammates. He actually one time convinced me to handcuff Warcries. Because, you know, I was always low ranked in the tribe because I was just less good at the game, and I also made a lot of mistakes in Arc. So I always had, like, lower permissions in Warcries. I didn't have access to the admin tower or whatever. Anyways, he had literally gotten a VC at Aramis and just said, hey, can I attack your base? Aramis is like, nah, this is a training SMP. And he said, well, too bad. And then Aramis said, fuck you, you get it banned. So yeah, that was the first banning. There was another banning we actually had to do this SMP. Lou joined the server as well. Aramis bought Lou. Ark. And then Lou just joined, starts spamming the N-word in chat after a while, and then Aramis is like, well, enjoy your band, kiddo. But yeah, overall it was a fun SMP. I remember there being so much dinos that we all had attachments to, like there's a Pteranodon named Johnson, and his mom was named Lydia, and I had a big attachment to them. I actually became the egg hatcher of everyone. I would always hatch the Argentavis and Pteranodon eggs and all that stuff. Ankylosaur, even direwolves, which don't even have eggs. Warcry's had a direwolf named Arda that he was extremely attached to, like beyond point of normality. I had this ship that I took to the north one time and it got destroyed by a Megalodon, so I rebuilt it and then Warcry's got destroyed or whatever. But yep, the Ark SMP sadly had to end because Hearth SMP Season 4 was about to begin. Oh, I also want to mention before we get into these interviews that I did record an interview with Waylon, but then he requested I don't use interviews because he wasn't using his good mic and it wouldn't come in till like the next day, and I'm like, well, I got a fucking schedule, Scoom. So, no. But I'm honorable, so obviously won't use the footage here. Hello, Warcries.
Hello.
Zane from Ninjago here for another interview.
Fuck off.
No, you fuck off, bitch. Anyways. Dear with the Glock, we are back once more, yet again,
Hello,
to interview you.
from Ninjago. What's it gonna be today?
Today, we're going to be talking about Hearth Arc 1.0, aka just Hearth Arc Training. I have a series on it, yeah.
So the training season has a special place in the hearts of those who actually gave a damn about it, because it was your first exposure to Arc formally, if I'm not mistaken.
Warcries.
Warcries as well. Yeah, Warcries had played with me a little bit before. And there were several other instances of other players coming along, but you can still see Hearth Arc 1.0 as you have it listed here. Hearth Arc Training, as it's listed on the veterancy thing, was a spur-of-the-moment kind of thing that we did in between SMP seasons that basically you can get a veterancy point for participating in Hearth Arc. We never actually had designs on making the actual Hearth Arc, like Hearth Arc Season 1, a thing. This was kind of just something to occupy devoted friends over. They didn't even have to be in the Hearth Discord. Hearth had nothing about Arc in it at the time.
Yeah, it was mostly just for you and me in War, but also Crap participated, Dragoon,
We had some,
Boof,
yeah, we had some step in Boof, Dragoon,
Waylon,
those two.
Fade.
Yes, Church and Fade.
And then your dad as well had like a
Yes.
base. It was just a smaller version of Hearth Arc 2.0, which we're not going to go over for a while, actually. It's like a few
Yes,
episodes
there were
away.
some unique memories from Hearth Arc training. Perhaps the most standout one is the Voyage of the Burb box video that I edited for you, made some JoJo memes and whatnot, was actually, I believe at the time, the most liked video on your channel that would end up being unseated by that one random SCP video that exploded for whatever reason on your channel. But until that happened, that was the most liked video on your channel.
Don't forget about the adventure map with Gamer Eye that exploded as well.
God, yeah, I don't get that one.
That's because Captain Sparkles played the map after I made the video.
Of course.
What did you think about the Herbivore Island base?
Ooh, I really liked that base. That base was very well made. I must say, the current base on actual Hearth Arc is better, but considering how little time we put into it, I really liked it.
He's talking about Hearth Arc Season 1,
Yeah,
second to last episode.
I actually based that Hearth Arc base off of that current off of the Hearth Arc training base. Either way, so yeah, we lived on Herbivore Island. We hadn't defeated any bosses yet. We probably could have defeated the first.
Yeah, we were rich.
Dragon. We were just in the breeding stage, and we'd done pretty much all the surface caves. I liked it. It was fun. It was a good way to teach the both of us. Obviously,
Yeah.
I had some previous experience, but it wasn't nearly like enough. Like once we got past the first maybe 10 hours of gameplay, then I was just as clueless as you.
Okay.
Other than the fact that I actually listened and you didn't.
Again, okay. Alright.
I was a far less tolerant and gracious literal god back then. Literal god in training, if you will. And because Waylon would just push my buttons deliberately to fuck with me and threaten to break rules on the regular, I said, you know what? This isn't Hearth. Hearth Arc is mine. The rulership over Hearth Arc is mine and no others. So I didn't have to obey the normal standards of free speech that we keep in Hearth. So I just went and fucking booted Waylon because I didn't like his tone.
Cringe tribe. We have two Rees Hards in a tribe together. You know how that can go. They decided to build in the same spot we actually decided to build initially, Hidden Valley.
Yep.
The same
in
spot we decided to
Hearth
build
Season 1.
Hearth Arc.
Yep.
So it was it's a good base location. Neither of them knew what they were doing, despite Waylon pretending to know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Waylon is not very intelligent, as
They left one of their pteranodons on Carnivore Island.
Aramis had to come over multiple times to save them from alphas. Waylon also tried imprisoning me. That was great.
Similarly, the N-word is not permitted in the global chat. It is permitted in the local chat. Yes, so as it happens...
Lou said a word, which I know all of you know the word. No, you don't even need to say. All of you know the word. If I just say you know the word, come on.
I spawned in, I believe, a little level 1500 Frost Wyvern known as the Admin Cop Car, and there's something very lore related as well. And I went around and said, "Stop, cease and desist to Lou," and he was just sitting in his little cloth armor by his little campfire. He had a pet dodo and shit. And he walks up to me and says, "No," and punches my dragon, and then I ate him.
That was funny. Yeah.
And then he was banned! Closing thoughts, Hearth Arc Training is full of memes, and it introduced you to a very good lore-centered game.
Trike Attack!
Yes, Trike Attack, Johnson Jr., or whatever his name was.
Lightning McQueen.
Arda, for sure.
Warcry's favorite little wolf.
Arda? That was my direwolf.
Yes.
Yeah, named after, as many may know, the actual planet, which Lord of the Rings is located on, Middle-earth.
Arda, okay.
I could not figure that out for the life of him.
Wow. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, finally, after 2 years. Yeah, it's been like 2 years since this project. It's actually not been that long.
I remember we named Triceratops after Boof, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and she actually joins the world.
Yeah.
So we named our dinos off of some people. It was kind of funny. Like we had
the Sabertooth was Cat.
Yeah.
Steel was one of the Pteranodons.
No, it was actually the Ankylosaur that was Cat.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It was. I think the Sabertooth might have been named after someone else, but I don't remember.
Oh, we named it after Sam. Marco.
Walrus? Marco? Maybe, I don't know. But we had a lot of weird names for these guys. It was funny.
Yeah.
And then
we never even got to the first boss, because that was just kind of us showing Sarf the ropes, and it was a very low-scale server.
You remember the time that we were fricking around a lot? The picking up game?
Yeah, the picking up game was good. We shouldn't have done it in front of Boof.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
Both of us bad.
But that would set the groundwork for us to go on like Scorched Earth and stuff in official PvP. That would set your skill set for when Hearth Arc Season 1 would become a thing, which is, Season 5-ish.
It serves as a very good introductory server to the three of us and many others. And specifically the two of us, with Aramis sort of getting the dynamic. That dynamic being Sarf Warcry, listen, Aramis is smart. No, I'm kidding, but...
Don't you forget about the Trike Attack.
The videos are very high quality, I must say, a lot of the time.
Aramis' videos.
Edited videos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good series.
So, yeah, Hearth Training Arc was a fun little feather in the cap of my memories with you guys.
And I guess there's something we did right after the series. We did a little bit of official, not the big time official with Scorched Earth, but I remember we did a bit of official, and it failed because Sarfnik typing W in chat and I actually...
No, that's not. That's most likely not why it failed, but it could have been, and it's risky. We got you in trouble for that because that's what you'd never want to do on official in large chat.
I was just walking and accidentally hit W.
You'd get kicked in large chat for that because it reveals tribe's identity oftentimes when they want to keep secret from just randos on the server.
Okay. Anyway.
Either way.
That's it.
Yeah. The official one, it was purely to level up our characters. It wasn't for anything else, and it succeeded in that regard.
Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was pretty fun to make. Won't be as much fun to render though. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed. And it was a pretty fun time spending summer of 2019 playing Ark. We played for exactly 2 months actually. And don't worry, this isn't the last you're going to see about Ark. We have another episode relating to it maybe even more. We'll have more references to it as well, because I need to discuss some other things that happened in the off-season. But, yeah, see you guys next time. Click on the next episode. It's Hard SMP Season 4. It's a pretty weird season.